What was it like kind of growing up in Chicago, like developing basically a new life, making new friends, trying to learn English? Was that a tough time for you?
At first, it was a little tough, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I missed all my friends,
Yeah, man.
and I was a huge, you know, what saved my life pretty much was video games. I was a video gamer growing up in Ukraine.
Uh-huh.
That's all I did all the time. I was just beating games. I had my all the consoles. I started with Atari 2600
Mm-hmm.
computer. I had my NES and then Sega Genesis. So moving to Chicago, video games really filled in that void that I left in Ukraine.
Yeah.
I
I love
actually
video games too.
Yes, I
Love
thought
them.
I was going to be a video game developer, and when I first moved to Chicago, it was very interesting because this is right when MK4 was coming out,
Yep.
and we got the first arcade machine, and also then Annihilation came out. And I used to read this Russian magazine. They used to talk about video games and release cheat codes. It was like EGM or Nintendo Power, but a Russian version.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget because when I first arrived, it was like maybe 3-4 weeks in. My cousin took me to an arcade, and I
Yeah.
snapped a picture of MK4 and sent a letter to this Russian magazine from the U.S. and they published the article. Saying like we've had letters come in from all over Soviet Union,
Yeah.
but we never had anybody write in from the United States. So here's Oleg, and here's a picture of the MK4 arcade machine. And,
Yeah.
it's just fascinating. So it was super cool. I
Damn.
wish I still had that little clip, little clip out from the magazine because
Yeah.
it was just
Does
badass.
anybody out there in the world have that? Anybody out there? Let us know.
Yeah,
Let us know.
it was called The Great Dragon was the name of the English translation of the magazine.
Gray Dragon.
Yes, The Great Dragon.
That's deep.
I guess those are the bosses in almost every video game. was a dragon that you got to slay.
Of course, man. Of course, the final boss. I
Yes.
fucking love that.
Uh-huh.
So video games got you through the tough times.
Yeah,
When
they
did music
did.
come into your life then?
Oh, music was a part of my life since I was, I would say, a baby.
Yeah.
I was baby for sure because parents always had the little boombox playing when I was like, I don't know, 2-3 years old with the Russian songs.
There you go.
And as some English music started rolling in, I mean, English music was always a part of my parents' life too. I mean, Beatles
English
were
is
around.
in like Britain, right?
Yeah,
Like,
just I guess music
English speaking.
yeah, English speaking
Gotcha.
music. So hearing it, picking it up, loving music as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
and then we started getting dance music from Germany, from Sweden coming in, and we had what's called these like DJ hits tapes. So my father used to buy them
Fuck yeah.
for his restaurants for his own enjoyment, and he would buy and he would introduce me to these audio tapes.
Yeah.
And I used to copy them. I figured out, I remember by myself, just somehow I plugged in headphones into the actual mic jack, and I spoke into it. I was like, oh my God, this is actually a microphone.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't know, 6-7 years old. So I was
Shit.
like recording little voiceovers over these mixtapes. Like they were not even mixtapes; they were just like a bunch of tracks back to back.
Right.
And I got just hooked on it. And I would say I was a huge Ace of Base fan.
Yes.
Dr. Alban, it's my life. And then I graduated. I'll never forget. It was like maybe 1990.
Yeah.
My dad got a tape of The Prodigy. Yes, it was the Prodigy, The Experience first, and then The Fat of the Land.
Jeez.
And I was just obsessed. I mean, hearing those insane beats.
Yeah.
And Robert Miles was also another. He's rest in peace. One of my favorite artists of all time. He made Children, and I was obsessed with his music. So I just had it on
Legend.
repeat, and I was like, hey. And he used to refer to himself as DJ Robert Miles, DJ Roberto Conchina. Conchina is the right pronunciation. And I was like, I really want to be a DJ when I grow up, whatever that means. I did not even know at that point what it meant. I thought
You just
that's
loved him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought this is the guy who plays the keyboard. This is the guy who I guess makes the music, whatever DJ does. So
Yeah.
it was my dream at that point when I was maybe 7, 8, and I wanted to be a DJ.
Yes.
And onto the next chapter that we'll talk about.
Hell yeah. That's so incredible. So you're growing up in Chicago. Music's already a huge part of your life. What about like when you started getting into house and techno? Did that come high school, like surrounding your friends? Because every time I interview a Chicago DJ, Chicago, born and raised sort of, and then growing through that, they have this experience out in the burbs. You've heard of Gravity, of course, too. Like all
Zero fucking gravity.
dude, zero fucking gravity, right? All those places played high energy music.
Yes.
And this is in the mid 2000s when Tiesto was kind of coming to let's call it just America, right? With that trance.
Oh, he wasn't even I would say it wasn't even there. We're talking about like 1999.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a really interesting time for me when I was in high school. Like Dead Mouse, Brazil was one of the first electronic songs I ever heard. You know what I mean? And it was cool, like where electronic music was going at that point. We'll talk about this later, how so many trends have happened. But do you remember like hearing any music during that time and being like, I think I like house and techno?
Yes, and it all actually started back in Ukraine before I even moved to Chicago.
Didn't even have to come here to figure it out.
No, this music was already blowing up in Germany.
Bro, you were fucking 12 years old when you moved here. That's insane you were into that shit then. That's hard for me as an American to understand.
You know who introduced me? Well, what introduced me to like the whole happy hardcore and rave and techno was the one and only H.P. Baxter. I was the biggest fucking fanboy and still am of Scooter. I don't know if you know Scooter.
I've heard the name, yeah.
I mean, these guys released 20 pretty much #1 albums. They're the most successful band to ever come out of Germany.
Fuck yeah.
And they've done it all. From they started with like happy hardcore with covers of I'm Walking in Memphis, which was I'm raving
Fuck
with
yeah.
the bagpipes and just fucking crazy rave beat. And,
I need that track.
The H.B. Baxter, you got to hear it. It's actually incredible. It still stands the test of time. This is 1992.
Damn.
And it still sounds fucking amazing. So I was just obsessed with Scooter.
Yeah.
So I knew every lyric to every song. So coming into Chicago at this point, still a huge Scooter fan, still buying Scooter CDs, and then I discovered B96.
Yeah.
The Hot Mix 5 was already pretty much. They were not done, but of course Bad Boy Bill still had his mix on B96. You had Julian Jumpin' Perez and Bobby D. and of course shout out to the one and only Blue Mike doing the voiceovers. So you're in the mix with DJ Bad Boy Bill. Or doing all the amazing
really
voiceovers. Good. Yeah, Blue Mike is the man. It's been a while since we've spoken, but he was doing the most amazing voiceovers for B96 for all the DJs, and I started listening to I really loved at that point Euro was coming into my life, as it was referred to here in Chicago. DJ Marksky.
Yes.
Shout out to DJ Marksky. He was playing at Zero. He was playing at that time. We had a club in Des Plaines. It was a teen club that would turn into a 21-up club called Galaxy Club, and that was my first experience with clubbing in Chicago.
How old were you then?
I was 14. I was 14 when I went to Galaxy. So it was from 13 to 17. And it was only from, you would go there it would start at 7 p.m. and it would end at 10. So it was 3 hours of Bobby D would play, Too Cool Chris.
Yes.
It was Bobby D, Too Cool Chris. Actually, Infinity played a few of those gigs
Hell
too.
Yeah.
Everybody was so fucking young. And it was just a bunch of little kids just grinding and dancing to Euro music, to techno and house, as you would call it. I mean, there were some hard house tracks, some house tracks, some techno, some rave, whatever. And
special time for you though.
I was obsessed.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, started clubbing at 13, but let's actually backtrack a little bit. It gets
Started
even
clubbing at
crazier.
13.
It was even crazier because my few last years in Ukraine before I moved, there was this trend going on with roller skating.
Okay.
So the theater that we had in the center of the city got converted into a roller rink, which they would play again techno music.
Fuck yes.
Excuse me.
Good.
So I was exposed to kind of clubbing and dark, no light, no lights, some lasers,
Damn.
and skating to dance music. So it was again natural progression to going to Galaxy Club, learning about what's going on in Chicago, and getting my first set of turntables. This was 1999. I'll never forget. I ordered them on eBay, and the guy who shipped them to me, he packed them. The dust covers, he stacked them both on top of each other. So when they arrived, they were just fucking crushed. Like, he just put one turntable on top of another turntable. So, like, I had to get them repaired. And then I got my first UC, which was a legendary Chicago label. It was called Under Construction.
Oh, yeah.
Rest in peace, DJ Attack. And there was some legendary artists on it, like DJ Rip, Xavier Jacome. There was Naughty Boy Nardi, and there was Hard House. It was a Hard House label, so I was just buying up all their records. And I started out as essentially, when I was DJing, I started out as like a hard house, hard style DJ.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going around.
Youngster with more energy than anybody can handle.
Yeah, I was crazy. I was just like, give me the fast.
Fuck yeah. Hey, what's up? And thanks for watching that video. You looking for more content now? I got your back. Go to my YouTube channel right now, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you turn on all notifications so you never miss any upcoming exclusive artist interviews, Sherm in the Booth clips, new music, live sets, and more. This is your one-stop shop for everything electronic music. Cheers.